providing resources and comfort to caregivers. This is Caregiver Crossing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I hope that today is treating you all well. I'm Terry Stacy, along with Tina Bina McIntosh.
Hi.
She's the founder of Joy's House, and we're glad that you're here today. This is Caregiver Crossing, and it's coming to you from the Joy's House studio in lovely Indianapolis, and we are here each week because of the kind support of our friends at Cardon and Associates. Again, thank you all so much for coming today and joining us.
Well, and for those of you who are new to Caregiver Crossing, maybe you're in Illinois.
Maybe.
Where we are now. Or in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Maybe.
We want you to know that this radio show was designed for you. It's for those of us who are currently caregiving and those of us who will be, which is pretty much everybody. And so I get a few minutes here to talk with you about Joy's House. If you're not familiar with Joy's House, we are an Indianapolis-based nonprofit, and we provide families with adult day service and caregiver support. And so you can learn more. You can go to our website at joyshouse.org. But we are doing some pretty big things right now and this coming year. So on the adult day side, we do have two centers. We have one in Broad Ripple, and we've got one at the University of Indianapolis. And so if you're not familiar with adult day, the concept is that we're open Monday through Friday, kind of normal business hours. And we are here to provide safety and community for people who have some kind of a life-altering diagnosis. So if you have a loved one who is living with a dementia, Alzheimer's or another dementia, a traumatic brain injury, strokes, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, you name it, we've probably seen someone and loved someone living with a diagnosis, and they can no longer stay at home, but you don't want to go into long-term care, or that's not the right fit for you.
But I've also seen at Joy's House younger people that sometimes oftentimes you think of maybe this is for your grandma or your mother, your father.
Yeah.
I've seen some young faces here too that are here for the day.
And really the criteria for us, if somebody's going to come into our adult day service, is that they're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for them. Right. And so some of those younger adults are living with maybe born with water in the brain or living with some kind of a developmental disability, maybe autism, Down syndrome. And they're a really great fit for who we are and who we serve here and vice versa. If you looked at us at a glance, I'm going to say right now we're probably average 75 years old, about half men, half women, diverse backgrounds and diverse diagnoses, although most are probably living with the dementia. And they come and stay with us during the days, whatever days you need as a family. And then they come home to eat dinner at their own dining room table, go to bed in their own bed.
I can never brag about this place enough because of the care that you receive from these compassionate, wonderful people and volunteers and the times that I come in. And because this is where the Joy's House studio is at their Indianapolis location. And you see the most beautiful things happening between staff and those that you're caring for.
Yeah. Thanks.
And whether that is dancing on the deck, to beautiful music that is so reminiscent, it brings back so many memories for so many of those that you're caring for, or you're playing bingo, or you're listening to somebody come in and play guitar. I mean, you just provide this wonderful, warm environment, caring environment, and there really was never been a person named Joy. I think people used to think, well, I wonder who Joy is. Did you name it after Joy's House? And that really wasn't it.
Yeah. So I say all the time, well, first of all, one time we answered the phone, somebody called and hello, Joy's House, how may I help you? Yes, may I speak with Joy? And I said, there's no joy here. Oops.
No, plenty of joy here, just no joy.
Right.
Person.
So we have had people who've worked on staff, which is great, named Joy, but eventually you get called Joy no matter who you are and you just answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the adult day service, I'll tell you, it just, it is about those big moments, and it's also about just the simple time together.
Yeah. And wherever you are, right. And wherever you are, if you're new to caregiving, just know that there are people around this state and elsewhere in Illinois, too, that have these wonderful places. You have to do your research. And I know that if you need a resource, I know you can help them find a place near them.
It does not have to be us. There are other great adult days around as well. We've all kind of got our niche. And so you can always go to joyshouse.org, learn more about us. If we're not the right fit, we will help point you in the direction of somebody who is.
Wherever you are in the state.
Or you can call us, 317-254-0828. The other part of our mission, though, Terry, that I think is important for people to know is for family caregivers. And so we've got really 5 main areas: integrated healthcare coordination. If you are caring for a loved one, call us about care coordination because we can help you provide that care. Really be an extension of you. The other is the show, Caregiver Crossing. Another one is, which, by the way, if you're looking for past episodes of the show, you can go to caregivercrossingradio.org, caregivercrossingradio.org, and make sure to like us on Facebook too. Then we've got care kits, which are binders full of template information for caregivers. They are free of charge.
These are fantastic.
They are wonderful. I had a speaking engagement just a couple of days ago and gave away half a dozen of them.
Candace was telling us over the last couple of weeks that they've had just a surge here at Joy's house for the request of a care kit.
Yes. So helps you keep things organized. And it's kind of a template, like a 101 course for caregivers. And then we have an end-of-life doula program, which I know we've had on the show before, but that is, how is it that you would like to die if you could design it? And how do you want to live until that time comes? And I think that'd be really interesting for us to talk about.
Did you become a
on
doula?
The show. I am. Yeah.
You did become one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when we first both learned about a death doula.
Yes.
Is there another word for it, though, that they're using now? End-of-life doula?
Well, we say end-of-life doula, but
right.
Death doula is
I think when we first started hearing the words, that's what they were using.
Yeah.
And I thought, what in the world is this? But the more we knew and had guests in to talk about it, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, I will tell you, a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, her father he just passed a couple weeks ago. And she and I were texting. And she said they were really having a hard time there at the end. He was kind of fighting, and I said, from my own experience with my dad passing this past year and training and experience as an end-of-life doula, are you all touching him? And she said, oh, yes, we're, loving on him. And I was like, maybe don't do that, because, one of the things that I've learned is when someone is trying to pass, and we've talked about this, Terry, when someone's trying to pass, it hurts and it alerts them, so when we're trying to stroke someone's head and we think that's loving, those hair follicles might be sensitive and it's jolting them, or our touches and we're squeezing and it's kind of pulling them back when they're trying to peacefully pass. And so they often say someone will pass away when no one is in the room and you're giving them space to go peacefully.
That's interesting.
It is.
I didn't know about that part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, with my own father, my brother and sister and I are sitting lined up at his bedside, and we're quiet for 45 minutes straight. We're silent, just watching him take every breath. Mm. And I could tell he was, because of my training, I could tell he was at the end of life. And somebody gently knocked on the door to see if we needed a drink. And when we all turned our head to look at the door, we looked back, he took one breath and he was gone. And we were like, that little stinker. It was like the minute we diverted our attention, he just took his last breath and passed. So it is a beautiful thing. We need to take a break. But when we come back, I want to tell you about Caregiver Way. It's very important. And then I think we've got something in our mailbag. So, all right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing, brought to you by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. Stay put. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing after the break. Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. Terry Stacy along with Tina McIntosh. And it's time for mailbag questions. You can always send us a question. Send it to Tina at joyshouse.org, and she is glad to answer the questions. You ready?
I think so.
All right.
It depends on what the question is.
Here's the question. Hello, ladies. I've been taking care of my aging father at home, and I find bathing to be increasingly difficult and naturally embarrassing for him. Do you have any tips or suggestions on how to make the bathing experience more comfortable and safer for him too? Any techniques that you recommend? I've learned so much from listening to you all in the short time, and you've been on the air here, and I have really enjoyed listening to the show each week. Thank you. That's from Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. And listen, you are not alone. This is a tough one.
It's really tough. I just blew air in my cheeks and held it there for a second because I've been here with this and it is really hard to do. I think, first of all, let's acknowledge the difficulty. You're talking about bathing your aging father. You are doing things and you're in parts that you don't want to be in and he doesn't want you in. And so
you're his kid, you know? I understand this. I really do get this too. Go ahead.
It's tough. It's really tough. And so I think there are a number of things. The first thing I would say to you is if there's somebody else who could bathe him, do that.
I mean, hire somebody
if you can,
and a male,
because it gives you a break. Well, not even necessarily a male. Aaron, it is easier for me to bathe your father than it is for you to bathe your father. I'm not his daughter. He doesn't love me. And he's not going to be embarrassed in the same way he is with you. But if it is you that needs to do it, we definitely have some tips for you. And so let's just run through what those are. One is the atmosphere is huge. And so if you can, don't make it romantic because that sets, and depending on what your dad's diagnosis is, you don't want it to go sideways and get weird. And I really do mean that. But what I mean is make sure it's warm in there for him. And as you're getting him into the shower, if you can wrap warm towels around him, who cares if they get wet? But it helps, one, with him feel more comfortable as he's getting in physically. Also, then it helps him with some modesty. If you can wrap a towel around his waist and maybe you've got a chair in there that he can sit on, just be careful. You always have to be careful. A big thing is making sure that you give him choices. Let him control what he can control. So pay attention to things. If he's moving at a faster or a slower pace, match his pace. Try and be there with him. Try and say things in a different way. So if he's not wanting to get in, you might try and say like, hey, Dad, let's shower. It's time, if that's the best approach with him. Or you might say, have you showered today? Do you want to walk into the shower by yourself or do you need help walking into the shower? Give him choices that the answer is still going to get you to where you are. If you can have the shower, turned on before he gets in is a good idea too. We're used to stepping into a shower that's running and that water's already warm versus imagine sitting in a shower, butt naked in front of somebody that you're embarrassed to be in front of. And then the shower water gets turned on and it's freezing cold.
Not good. The whole thing.
It's terrible, right?
It's very hard.
Prepare to get wet. Don't go in there when you're trying to go to a gala and you're all dressed up and you got on a full, your eyelashes and a full set of makeup. Just don't do that to yourself. If you have to get into fully clothed, do it. But really a lot of it is about that ambiance. Does he have some favorite music that you can put on while he's in there? Can you have a space heater in there? Can you do things of that nature? And the other thing is you can have your hesitancy and have your own feelings. Just get it done. And
I think that's what I remember you saying so much. Just get it done. Just get it in, get it out. It's done. Get it done.
Yeah.
Is there any other way to bathe a loved one other than taking him into a shower?
Oh, there are so many things. So, if he likes the water and wants a cup, give him a cup and, let him play with the water. If he's, again, not knowing his diagnosis, that might be something you can do. I do want to say one other thing before I answer that question, Terry, and that is, bathe from the least dirty and least intimate part to the most dirty and most intimate part. So if you want to start with the hair and the ears and the face and the neck and you work your way down, you don't want to do the feet or the groin first. You want those to be your last stops. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And you can trade out your washcloths, as you go along the way. There are some things that are shower in a bag. And so, it's like a thing you can put on your head. And what am I trying to say? Say it again? Yeah, shower cap. Tempest, our producer, is here today, and she's like, yeah, it's called a shower cap. Thanks, Tempest. But it's a shower cap that already has the shampoo and stuff in it that you put on and can shampoo.
No kidding.
You can do dry shampoo. You can use a washcloth and clean the body. And there are some really great hand-over-hand techniques and other things. So this, Erin, I hope helps you. This leads into what I want to tell you about Caregiver Way.
Okay.
Caregiver Way is the 5th line of caregiver services that we are launching here in a couple weeks through Joy's House. Caregiver Way, it's an online community for family caregivers. So here's the deal. We tell you all the time, we as a community, take care of yourself. What does that mean? Caregiver Way is going to show you how to do it, how to take care of yourself, how to take care of your loved one, how to navigate end of life, how to navigate financial and legal, and how to navigate after you are done being a caregiver, because there's life after caregiving. And so it is, imagine a community that you can step into a digital world where you can have connection with other caregivers, and you can watch videos on how to do this very thing that Erin is asking about.
Fantastic.
So we can show you.
So necessary.
I'm just tired of us saying, here are the things you need to do without saying how. Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to show you how to do it, how to bathe from the top down, how to redirect your loved one, how to get the shower set up for success.
I love the financial part of it as well, too. The financial part, I have learned, is one of the least prepared.
It's terrible.
I think for so many, including myself.
Because we don't know how to do it.
It's not in a handbook. It's not, and you won't even think about it. I promise you don't want to even learn it until it happens. And then you're like, man, I wish I would have learned.
Well, none of this is in a handbook, right?
Well, right.
I mean, how do you know how to bathe your father, to Erin's point?
Right.
Like, you just don't know how to do that stuff naturally. And so Caregiver Way, one, you're going to want to become a member of Caregiver Way. It's less than $10 every month. We are currently looking for people who will become members. We are looking for people to create content. So, Terry, you've learned a lot in your own personal experience and here on Caregiver Crossing. And so we want you to create videos and audio vignettes and add to our library of things that we can show people how to do things.
I think that's fantastic.
It's
just
awesome.
A couple of weeks. I know you've been working on it for a while, a long while.
Years. I mean, years. 4 years.
Truly.
If not, maybe 5.
Yeah. So to not just slap something up. I mean, they really have taken the time to get everybody in place for this. And I know it's going to be pretty spectacular.
It's going to be wonderful. So Caregiver Way, remember that. You will soon we'll give you the link to it. It's a web app, so it'll go on your phone too. But the other great thing about it is it's available to you 24/7 and on holidays. So if you have an issue at 2:00 a.m. on Christmas morning, Caregiver Way is going to be there for you. But there are things, Terry, on it that we haven't even gotten into talk about. Like there's like a community where you can connect with other caregivers and ask forum questions and create relationships. And I mean, it is awesome. So I know that we have to take a break here in just a moment, but I do want people to know we are here for you at Joy's House. And so if you have any questions about any of this, or you're like, how do I find this in my state or in my city, just get a hold of us and also give us your ideas. And you can do that at tina@joyshouse.org. Again, tina@joyshouse.org. So we're going to have to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing, a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing, brought to you by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates. 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. Stay put. We'll be right back with more Caregiver Crossing after the break.
Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing. We would like to welcome to the Joy's House studio our guest of the week, Executive Director of the Restoracy of Whitestown, Bryan, Lindsey. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me on today.
You're at the Joy's House studio. There are secrets of like, this is, it feels fancy when you say it out loud. Although this is a really great studio.
It really is.
I'm not knocking it. It's pretty great. And I'm glad to be in it.
It's at Joy's house.
I'm already impressed.
The Joy's house studio.
It's beautiful.
So, all right. The Restoracy. A lot of us have heard about the Restoracy, but maybe not visited like we should.
That's okay. I'm here to educate you.
Good. And part of the reason is because when did you open?
We opened up in May of 2020, right when everyone was staying inside.
Oh, that's such good timing.
Yeah, it was very interesting timing. So the thought of the Restoracy came to fruition or inception in the summer of 2017, but it takes a long time to start a business. And so we found land in Whitestown behind Meyer there. It's a great growing community. And it takes a lot to build a community and a neighborhood, and we'll talk more about that. But when we first broke ground, COVID wasn't on anyone's lips. Like, it was not a thing.
No.
And so, this whole concept of, creating a new community for seniors should have gone off without a hitch. But when we finished construction in March of 2020, then things started to fall apart. And we were on the sidelines watching everyone panic, just wondering, okay, well, we've got to open in 2 months. Like, there's no turning back. We've got our loan from the bank, and we've got to fill it with residents. And so there was no turning back. And so we just had to jump in and plunge forward, and we survived.
You survived because they came.
They came, and they came fast. When we opened, we got our license. So you have to go through a pre-licensing period. And so you take care of 2 or 3 residents, prove to the State Department of Health that you know what you're doing. They come in, audit you like a regular survey, and then you either pass or fail. And so we passed on our first go around. And so from July 1st, when we got our license, till November of 2020, we filled 5 of our homes. And there are 6 homes. We filled 5 of our homes. And then the 6th home, the state required us to keep open as a COVID, they called it a red zone. And so we had to keep that home available in case we had any outbreaks and things like that.
Which is smart. I mean, at that time, right?
At the time, it was a great advantage because the other 5 homes where we had residents that were safe and healthy, if there was a case, they were put in a separate home, breathed different air, different staff, caregivers, everything was different. And so it looked like a really smart plan, which really wasn't smart.
Well,
it was
congratulations.
Lucky. It was lucky.
Way most of us do things. It just looks like a smart plan.
We were very grateful it worked out.
If we were, what grade do you want to be in, ladies? Second?
Second grade's
like
good.
second
I like
grade?
second.
All right. We're in second grade, and you come in front of us, and you're going to tell us about what you do and what it looks like, but we're second graders.
Okay.
What is it? What's the Restoracy?
So that's a great question. And given the audience, and I have a 3rd grader, so I can
You can do this.
identify kind of who I'm talking to. My job is to take care of your grandparents if they can't stay home. And so like every big family, and all families want to keep their loved ones at home. Sometimes that doesn't work out. Their health or their ability to take care of themselves declines. And so they need professional help. They need nurses or doctors or caregivers that can take care of them. And so my job is to provide a home environment where they can feel comfortable and safe and enjoy the greatest quality of life through the rest of their years. And so, we take care of people in their greatest time of need for their health or any other type of disability that they have.
What do they look like? Do they look like homes? What did they look like?
It's a great question. When we were going through construction throughout that year, we would have people come drive through the neighborhood and say, "Oh, are these homes for sale? Or what are the price of these homes?" And we would say, "Well, they're not for sale. This is actually a nursing home." And they would look at us funny and say, "Well, it doesn't look like a nursing home." And that's exactly what we wanted. We've all seen nursing homes. We've visited loved ones and family members, neighbors, members from our churches, and we've seen what an institutional nursing home looks like.
Like hospitals, oftentimes.
They're long brick buildings. They're very efficient. They're institutional. They're meant to take care of lots of people in one location for convenience. And many of them are very nice. They're well decorated. Have wonderful staff that take care of the people. But they look like a hospital, and then people live in them permanently, like down long hallways and all the things that we associate with nursing homes. And so the Restoracy, or our neighborhood concept, is meant to feel like a neighborhood from the very beginning. So when you drive up, you see homes, you see sidewalks, you see lampposts, you see driveways and
Tina's
garages.
handing me a pic. She's got pictures.
Oh boy, yeah. So
They
pictures
do
1,000
look like
words.
homes.
They are homes. That's
Yeah, well, you're right. They are, because they are.
Literally, you drive around the block. So there's 6 homes, and they're all
Wow.
situated around a block, which is nice for summer
This is
parades
great.
and barbecues and
Yes.
just that neighborhood
This is
feel. Like you
great.
hang out in the backyard.
Right.
We also are very lucky to have found a location that's the front row for the Whitestown fireworks show every year. So the fireworks get shot off at the Eagle Church, and all of our residents and their families lay out their blankets.
So we're all invited. Everybody's invited.
Yeah, it's free parking. Free parking
Always
at
like to know your
Restoracy.
hot spots.
Yeah.
That's real. I really like this concept, and I have to say, I don't know of another one like it.
There are
Maybe
very
there are,
few.
but I just don't know of them.
Yeah, it's a model that is not original. So the first time I saw this concept, I was in graduate school and I was very intrigued with it. And then in my first job, which I was working in the Northwest in Seattle, a company I was working for was looking at doing a joint venture, building what they would call a greenhouse. That's kind of the most
Love
popular.
the greenhouse concept.
It's a beautiful concept. It really is built on beautiful principles of a home environment and caregivers that are cross-trained to do more than just taking care of people, but actually
If I may,
having
for
fun.
just a
Yes,
moment
please.
about the greenhouse. So I have a 19-year-old son, and I just want think about that for a minute. A 19-year-old boy, right?
I have a 19-year-old son as well.
Okay, so
I'm
like
with
the
you.
image,
Gotcha.
right,
Yes.
of what comes in mind. He comes into the kitchen yesterday and said, "Mom, I want you to watch this video." And it was a YouTube video he had run across about the greenhouse, which I think originated in Amsterdam or something. I can't remember where the first one was.
More of a European approach to you know,
And he was like, "I just thought you'd like this. It's very cool."
Oh, he was thinking of this for you.
Yes.
This would be a good
not
place
to
for
place
you.
me there yet. No,
Oh.
just like that he knows my heart. But it is a very intriguing concept, and I love that you've pulled a lot of the greenhouse feel, because the greenhouse is like, here's the community. You live in it. You can pay with marbles for your Doritos if you want. I mean, it's kind of like it's this
community
cool
sense. It's a new way of approach. It's a new approach to senior
Yes.
care.
And you said it's a European. This is European?
European long-term care takes
model?
it to another level, and they kind of
Interesting.
recreate a city environment. They have streets and markets, and the whole operation.
Yeah.
I love
is-
that.
is
It's
different.
dementia specific, and it's literally like, so Terry brought us in these Taylor's Bakery cookies, delicious.
Right.
And so, like if I wanted to buy a cookie, but all I had was lint in my pocket, I could pay with the lint or the marbles or whatever I have. And you were
going rate.
trained in dementia care. And so we're going to have to take a break here in a second. But when we
love
come
this.
back, we're going to talk about the Restoracy. And I think there are a lot of concepts that you've taken from the things that you were learning in grad school and brought to the Restoracy. So they're here in our own backyard at Whitestown.
Yep, very
and we want to
local.
talk about how people can get in touch with you and what they can learn. So we are going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment here on Caregiver Crossing.
You're listening to Caregiver Crossing. It's a show designed for family caregivers and the people who love them. Caregiver Crossing is brought to you by Joy's House in partnership with Cardon and Associates, with 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon and Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us for more information and to find a community near you. Stay put. We'll be back with more Caregiver Crossing after the break.
Welcome back to Caregiver Crossing, broadcasting from the Joy's House studio. We've just got a few more minutes here, but we want to talk in depth a little more with Bryan Lindsey, Executive Director and one of the founders of the Restoracy of Whitestown. And so, Bryan, tell us, what were the important things that you wanted to bring into the Restoracy that you knew were unique? I mean, we get the basics of long-term care, I think, right?
Sure.
What makes you all so special?
So over my career of over a decade of being an administrator for some larger nursing home companies, a lot of people come in with stereotypes or preconceived notions of what they would expect being in a nursing home. And as the administrator, my job, and I jokingly almost changed my name tag to say Director of Making Everybody Happy. I make the family happy, make the state happy, make the employees happy, make the residents happy, make the owners happy. And it was impossible because everything was kind of stacked against the administrator because, with budgets and the way that the homes were laid out, the facilities were laid out. And so you'd have everything from lost laundry to cold food to all the evils of institutionalism I could not solve unless we redesigned the whole thing, kind of started from the ground up and made it our own. And so our goal was to take all those years and all those complaints, and every administrator, every director that hears these same complaints can identify that there are a lot of concerns that are just inherent with institutional care. And so everything from the meals that are cooked in the home, so that when the residents wake up, we had a new resident that admitted last night, and when I talked to her this morning, I said, "How was breakfast?" He said, "Oh, it was wonderful. It was hot. It smelled good." It's that type of personal experience where you don't always associate those smells or those experiences with a nursing home. You think more of a medical tray or a cafeteria, things like that, or a cart. And so everything from the meals, the smells, certainly the size sets us apart.
How many people can live in each home?
There are 12 private rooms in each house.
Okay.
And each house has its own kitchen, fireplace, laundry services. In a therapy home, because we do therapy, long-term care, and memory care. So each home has a specific purpose. And so in the therapy home, there's a gym right there in the home. So parallel bars, stairs, all the dumbbells and bands and things that you'd see in a gym. And then if they're long-term care or memory care, then there would be an extra activity room. And so with the fireplace, the living room, the kitchen, you've got 12 private rooms around the outside of the large living area. And so there's basically 6 small homes in our neighborhood. And so each home has 12 people, and they've got their own caregivers.
What about staffing? That was the big question I had.
Probably the biggest differentiator between us and traditional long-term care is our staffing ratio. So in a home of 12 people, we have 2 full-time CNAs from the moment your parents wake up or your loved ones wake up until they go to bed. So basically 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. So you've got a 1-to-6 ratio. And so that leads to lower call light times, more attention. Our residents' hair is always done. They wear clean clothes. A lot of the things that get missed sometimes because it's, just the math is against you. We have enough staff to meet those day-to-day needs, make sure they look nice, it smells nice. All those things that are expected to happen actually do happen because we have enough caregivers to take care of them. We also have a nurse in each of the homes for our rehab. And then if they're in long-term care, there's kind of a hybrid of a nurse or a QMA because the acuity is lower. And so, the bulk of the care is the CNAs and the care that they receive, getting in and out of bed, helping get them dressed, give them showers, keep them clean and healthy. And so that ratio is the same regardless of the level of care. And so all 6 homes have 2 CNAs.
Who would this not be for?
It's a great question. All these stories come real time. So yesterday I gave a tour, and the people that came in were looking for a place for their mom and their dad. It was a couple. And after about 2 minutes, I knew that this was not the right setting for them because they were more independent. Meaning that they did not require 24-hour supervision or constant caregiving. They were still at a place in their aging process where they could be in a 2-bedroom apartment or they could have less oversight. And so we are in the spectrum of senior care, the most clinically complex. So many of our residents are in wheelchairs or use walkers. We have physicians on site, nurse practitioners, all the type of specialists you can imagine, physiatry, podiatry, audiology, dentists. So we have the full medical model. And so a lot of people, when they see the Restoracy, they see these small, cute homes, say, "Oh, that's a nice place to live out your years." When in actuality, it is a full functioning rehabilitation experience as well. So we have the therapy gyms, the doctors, all of the medical things that you would associate with some of the larger institutional hospital looking places. We do all of that, but it's in a small home. So you get the best of both
You're
worlds.
almost like independent living, assisted living, and long-term care had a baby.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
way.
that's a good way to think of it.
You've got kind of all of it. And
Yeah.
who pays for it?
So we take Medicare, Medicaid, private insurance, private pay. And so really our intent was to be very inclusive. And so we have a mix of all the traditional payers. So if you think about, what we would require to provide or to pay for services in a nursing home, we're contracted with all those same payers. Assisted living, most of the time is private pay. There are some Medicaid waiver. And so for us, our niche is that we clinically can go A to Z. So if someone comes in independently and they just want to live in this nice home, but they really don't need it, they can live there if they're paying privately. And if they need to transition to Medicaid later, we're licensed for Medicaid. Clinically, if they're maybe they could be in assisted living or independently, some of those places may, by their level, say, well, if you get to a certain level, if your needs arise at a certain point, you may need to go to a higher level of care. We are that level of care.
So let me take out the heart of the conversation for me for just a minute and go into the business side and say, who's your perfect client?
Our perfect client is someone who is, it's hard to answer because we have 3 service lines. And so
that's true. True.
The perfect client, there's actually a great way to answer this, is someone who's been in the hospital. So there's no pre-warning that mom or dad was going to need this next level of care. And so they come in, they're covered by Medicare, but then there's just not enough resources at home, or that their health isn't to the point where they can be home alone. And so now the family members that have been fearing, oh, what's going to happen if mom has to be in a nursing home? Now they found this place that it actually is a home, and then they can stay there, and they don't have to feel like they've got to, find the next place or that permanent nursing home. They've come for rehab. They can stay in a home and feel good about the place they found for their mom or their dad.
That's wonderful.
It is wonderful. I know we've got to go.
I say, yeah. How do people go ahead?
Please, well, just that. How do we find you?
So online at www.therestoracy.com, or our phone number is 317-769-8888.
Therestoracy.com.
Yep.
Mark your calendars for Independence Day to show up. And I'm kidding. Brian's like, please don't say that. We do not want everybody in our parking lot.
We've got lots of land. Bring your blanket and your lawn chair. We'd love to have you.
Thanks for coming in today. Thank you so much. As we close the show, we just want to remind our listeners that they can contact Tina McIntosh for more information and resources to help you through the journey of caregiving. Do that, tina@joycehouse.org. You can also call 317-254-0828. Tina, should I mention? I should. You want to do it?
No, I want you to.
All right, Caregiver Crossing, supported by Cardon & Associates, 20 communities owned, operated, or managed in the Midwest, and more than 40 years of senior living experience. Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Until next time, you all, thank you so much for listening, and take good care of each other.